Gretchen Fleming's stepmother spoke to us today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. Preston Pierce remains in a North Carolina jail facing charges in connection with the disappearance and death of Gretchen Fleming. Today, Gretchen's stepmother, Jennifer, talked to me about the huge break in the case.
She was just a very unique individual. She was smart, she was pretty, she loved music, she loved reading, she loved her Doc Martens. She just was her very unique self.
That was Jennifer Fleming talking about her stepdaughter, Gretchen. Gretchen disappeared 3.5 years ago. It was announced last Friday that some of Gretchen's remains were found in Wirt County last September and that Pierce was charged with her murder. Fleming says finally knowing what happened to Gretchen has been bittersweet.
It was devastating, but at the same time it brought a sense of peace, because I can't imagine being like some of the families that never get any answers and never find their loved one. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, really.
The Fleming family suffered more tragedies after Gretchen's disappearance. Her grandmother passed away in June 2024, and her father passed away a year later in March 2025.
I honestly think the stress of all of this was just too much for him to possibly handle. And yeah, unfortunately, he passed away without the answers, although I feel certain that when he passed, he got the answers he needed.
Jennifer says she knows it will likely be a long process as Pierce works his way through the court system, but she is ready.
I look forward to the day that I get to speak to him in court and prepare what I want to say and give him a piece of my mind.
Jennifer says she is ready for healing to take place now that Gretchen can be laid to rest next to her father.
I'm hoping to now have some peace and quiet and just time for my family, my father-in-law, my kids, all of us to finally have some time to heal.
There was a memorial at Point Park on Monday to honor Gretchen in light of the developments in the case. Jennifer and her daughter Emma spoke at that vigil. Turning to the weather.